Hello, fifth grade. You made it to week 5 of school. I'm pretty sure this is week 5. I could be wrong, but I think it's week 5. Anyway, by a coincidence, we have 5 notes so far on the recorder. So we're going to review all 5 of those notes. And if we didn't learn any more notes all year, there's plenty we could do with it. But I'm sure we'll learn more. Let's review. So, first of all, I've said this many times, but just to make sure, you want your left hand, the one that makes the L, on top of the recorder. So you could even play some of this with your right hand behind your back. Um, so just to review, G is everything except your pinky, right? So G is the lowest note we've had so far. You pick up your index finger, and we have A, right? Just 3 fingers on the recorder. You pick up that middle finger, and you've got, this is kind of like making OK, right? You have your thumb, index finger. So far, I haven't needed my other hand, right? I could play G, A, and B all day long with my right hand tied behind my back. But if you try to play C or D, well, C, remember your fingers are kind of diagonally opposite each other, right? Thumb and middle finger. So if I only used one hand, whoops, drop my recorder, right? So here's where we need our other hand. I kind of use my thumb in the back to brace it, or you could use some other fingers as long as you're not covering any holes. All right, C, right? And D is only your middle finger in your left hand on that second hole down from the top. All right, so now what we're going to do is go through these notes. We're going to do, it's going to be 4 beats, but we're going to do a rhythm. We're going to go like G, 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 A, and so on. Bum, bum, bum. Ready? Good. Here we start with G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now we're going to come down. We're going to use a different rhythm. We're going to go like da 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 dum, da 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 dum. That rhythm. Ba 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 ba. Ready? Starting with high D. 1, 2. Here we go. And that's the cool thing about these wind instruments is you could just be playing one note and you can do all kinds of fun rhythms with just your tongue, right? So it's, ooh, that was a bad squeak there, sorry. All right, now we're gonna practice going back and forth. We're gonna be gagging now, right? G, A, G, A, G. Right, so 3 of the lower note, 2 of the higher one in between. Ready? 1, 2, here we go. And then A, B and C, and then C and D. That's a pretty easy switch, right? You're just lifting up your thumb. This one's a little harder. Remember I talked about that last week? All right, now we're starting, we're going D, C, D, C, D. So they're doing the pattern backwards. Ready? 1, 2, here we go. And then and let's end on G. Can't point to it when I'm looking the wrong direction. Yeah. So that's our do. It sounds good to end on that. All right. So there's a lot of tunes we could do with just those 5 notes. We might learn a new note today. We'll see. All right. Now we're ready for our Jamaican trip with recorder reggae. All right. So remember it's B, 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 A. Then you wait a little bit. G, G, wait, then G, A. Good. Now let me talk about exactly how long you wait, because I don't know that I really got this settled. So, all right. So first of all, every measure has 4 beats, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. A 1, 2, 3, 4. So what this means is, in measure 3, you have to count, this is called a half rest, right? So we have to count 2 beats in our head before we come in on beat 3. So in my head, I'm saying 1, 2, 3, and, right? So that's always 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and. So I'm screaming 1, 2 as that piece happens, right? So let me show you what I mean. I'll just sing the note names. 1, 2 goes like this. B, B, a B, A, A. Then I go 1, 2, G, G, 1, 2, G, A. I think you got it. Good, now we're ready to try it with the recording. I might scream for part of it, then I'll stop screaming after a little bit. All right. Get ready with the B. Here we go. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Ending on G. Good. So that should be an easy review. Hopefully you are starting to memorize it by now. It's kind of catchy. So now we're going to reveal part 2. All right. Now is where things get exciting. All right. So this is the same rhythm, right? That's why I really drilled that rhythm. It starts up a little higher. Now, this line, all you need is D and C. So I would get those notes ready, right? Middle finger, D, add your thumb, C. Here's how this part goes. It starts on every good bird does, D, fly. We'll do the rap a little bit. So it's D, same line, D, then D, C, C. Let me try that with you. Ready? 1, 2, here we go. Good. So just D and C. Then you stay on C, and you go 1, 2. Right? So 1, 2. C, C. That's pretty easy, right? Then you go, this is higher, right? You can see how D is higher. 1, 2. So here's the note names for part 2. I should call it part 1 because it's higher than part 2. But anyway, this part, a 1, 2 sounds like this. D, D, a D, C, C. Then 1, 2, C, C, a 1, 2. D, D. I'll play it. 1, 2. Here we go. Then 1, 2. A 1, 2. After you repeat it 4 times, then you end on a D. I'm actually going to cheat for you and write in some note names. How's that? I gave you the answers. I just wanted to make it as easy as possible to learn this part quickly so we can start making music. All right, so let's try it with the recording. Here we go, that bottom line. A 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Good. So how'd you do? So now I'm breaking all the rules. I'm writing the note names in. Actually, that's not really breaking the rules. That's what we would do if we were here at school. You'd all have your own copy in front of you with a pencil, and you can actually write in your own note names if you want, but you don't have the music in front of you, so I'm just trying to make it easier to see. Actually, I broke a rule just now. You probably didn't notice, but when I'm pointing and playing D and C, remember how I said you want to have your other hand ready to go? I was actually cheating and doing bad technique. This is a bad idea because what if I want to play G, I have to untuck my fingers, so anyway, just thought I'd point that out. Do as I say, not as I do. All right. So if we were at school, what we would do is you'd have one group play this part while the other part reads this line, and we'd have some harmony. So we can't do that right now, but what we're going to do is I'm going to have you play the same thing you just played all 4 times, and I'm going to add the other part halfway through. All right, here we go. Take 2, recorder reggae. So you're on this, right? Ready? 1, 2, here we go. Stay on that line. Good. Did it work? So no matter what, keep on going. Now, I'd like you to all go back and try this top line. Remember, it's B, 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 A, 1, 2, G, G. I'm not writing the note names in on this one because we've done it enough times. I'm trusting you to remember. Ready? So you're playing the top. I'm going to start the top with you, and then you stay on the top, and I'm going to do the bottom. All right, here we go. Good luck. Our Jamaican tour is almost over. All right, up here, B. Ready? 1, 2, here you go. B. You stay there, ready? Good. Anyway, that's an example of how we can make harmony when we only have 5 notes, right? But if half of you are playing the top part, half of you are playing the bottom, it's pretty cool. All right. Now it's time for our treble clef rap. Here we go. All right. Remember, all you have to do is repeat after me. Here we go. I said E, G, B, D, F. These are the lines of the treble clef. Every good bird does fly. These are the lines from low to high. One more time, I said E, G, B, D, F. These are the lines of the treble clef. Every good bird does fly. These are the lines from low to high. Ooh, now's your chance to do a little bit of freestyling. So what am I doing? I'm just playing A, or C, or D. You could add G in if you want. Pretty much any note we've had, but A, C, D are the main ones for this. All right, take it away. Here's your chance to do some freestyling. Ready? 1, 2, here you go. What's that? Uh-huh. Keep it going. Uh-huh. That's right. Yup. Let's end it now. If you end it with a D, sounds pretty good. All right. I was having so much fun with that, I almost forgot the shortest rap in the world. How does it go again? Let's see. F, A, C, E. The spaces spell face. That's right, the spaces spell face. Uh-huh, the spaces spell face. Oh, one more time, the spaces spell face. Good, so that's a little bit silly, kind of fun, but it's an easy way to remember. Anytime you see a space note, you know what to do. Ooh, speaking of the treble clef, There's a secret that not everyone knows about it, and I think I'm going to share it with you. Now we're getting into some classified information. This is the top secret part of the class. All right, now millions of people around the world have seen this thing. Even if they don't know how to read music, they see it, they're like, oh, it's got something to do with music. That's all they know, right? And then millions of others say, yeah, it's a treble clef. Yeah, everybody knows that. Well, here's the secret part. If you look carefully at it, there's actually a letter in disguise inside it. Look at this. If you use your imagination, you see how it looks a little bit like the letter G? And here's the secret. See this line right here? That second line up, if I use my trick, every good bird does fly, that is a G. So the secret is that this is actually the G clef. There's more to the secret. Look at this. You see that G line right there? Now, I know a lot of you have seen a sniper scope, right? If you've ever played Fortnite or any video game. Even before sniper scopes, a long time ago, there was the bullseye, because people used archery, right? Bow and arrow for hunting or for war. So this goes back a long time ago. Look at that. There's a secret bullseye sniper scope hidden in the middle. So if I draw one of these things, all right, you know what I'm talking about, right? So the bullseye, right in the middle, it's inside that G clef, right? That's telling you, if you don't learn anything else from this class, that's G right there, right? Secret letter G, bullseye, G, the G clef. All right, don't tell anyone it's classified. Okay, now let's get back to playing. Back to playing, remember Hot Cross Buns from last week? The next couple of songs are easy. They only use 3 notes, B, A, and G. So, all right. So Hot Cross Buns, remember, it's B, A, G. You start out by spelling bag, right? And then you do it again, right? There's another bag right here. Bag, bag. Then you have 4 G's in a row, 4 A's in a row, and then another bag, right? So it's got kind of a form to it, which we'll discuss in just a second. All right, first let's play it. Ready? A 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And I was being very technical on that last whole note. I was going 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't stop the sound until I got to the next 1, which would be the next measure. Good, let's try it again. We're going to go a little bit faster this time, about this speed, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, bum, about like that. Ready? Get ready with a B. Ready? A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So that was fast, but not super fast. I think that's a good tempo. Now, the form of it, I mentioned that, right? You've got something here, bag. That's the note names, right? But this is one section. Then that section comes back again here. Something different. And then back to the beginning. So it's a form that happens a lot in music, right? We call it A, B, A, which means one thing, then you do it again, something different, then back to the thing you know. So, all right, I think that makes sense. All right, let's go on to our next song. Très bien, mes étudiants. Et pour continuer, nous avons une chanson qui s'appelle Au clair de la lune. Et puis, oh, je suis désolé, j'ai oublié. I forgot. This is the English-speaking version. All right, so we'll go back to English. The only French you need to know is Au clair de la lune, or in English, Au clair de la lune, which means in the light of the moon. All right, now do you remember the secret of the treble clef? How we had the secret bullseye, crosshairs, sniper scope, whatever you want to call it, combined with a secret letter G. That's telling you this first note is on our secret line G, right? So just to review, we've got three G's, right? G, 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 A, B, A, then G, B, A, G. Pretty easy, right? The only kind of tricky part is leaping from G to B, right? Right here, because you have to pick up two fingers, right? You've got everything except your pinky in the left hand, and then, right, B is just two fingers, and G is two. I'm sure you'll get it. All right, let's try the whole thing. Ready? One. Now make sure you should be ready by the time I say one. Don't wait until I start the thing, right? So get ready with G. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a pretty easy song, right? Not that much to it. It's the same thing twice, and the rhythms are super easy. Quarter note, half note, though so much good music has nothing but that, so nothing wrong with that. I'm going to do something with it now. I like to take a tune, if the rhythm is simple, and just tweak it just a little bit to get a little more spice. So here we go. So what you're looking at now is the same thing that you just played, right? The traditional version, very straight rhythms. In fact, let's play it just to make sure that it is the same thing. Ready? So remember, starting on that G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So that's pretty easy to play. All you have to do is keep the steady beat, and you almost can't go wrong, right? Now, I have a version that's got some more funky rhythms. Watch this. So the notes are exactly the same, but I did a few little tweaks with the ends of some of the phrases. So let's look at the beginning of it. Oh, well, it starts out the same, right? G, 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 A. That's still a B. B, and that's still tied over to an A, but it looks different, right? There's a lot of like musical something happening, right? Well, what this something is I'm taking each beat and subdividing it in my head. I'm going like, and that's what I need to get this rhythm, right? So it's B, A. It's a short A, right? Mm, B, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm going B, 1, 2, 3, A. B, 1, 2, 3, A. That's what my head is saying. I know it sounds crazy, but it works, believe me. So it's like, right? So let me try that first phrase. Ready? 1, 2, here we go. Did you get it with me? It's G, 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 A, B, 1, 2, 3, A. Right? It's very fast. 1, 2, 3, A. Now the ending of it starts the same, right? G, B, A, except it doesn't go A. The G is not in this measure. It's been shoved into the very last 16th note of this measure. So it's right at the end, right? So it's, oh, sorry. Right? Da, da, dum. 1, 2, 3, bump. Right? That's what I'm thinking in my head. 1, 2, 3, bump. So each of these dotted eighths, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but each of these in my head is like a 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, right? I know it sounds weird, but it works. All right. In fact, you did that same rhythm last year. Some of you in chapel remember our God is so dun, dun. That rhythm you did, 1, 2, 3, bump, da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, bump. Da. So you've had that rhythm before. those of you who were with us last year in chapel. It's the same thing, except instead of being on beat 1, it's at the end instead. Da, da, dum, 1, 2, 3, bump. Good. So let's try it. I'm just going to play the first line. You can listen or play along. Sounds like this. 1, a 2, here I go. And you wait. Good. So that's the first line. The second line, I'm going to put this whole thing up so you can really see it. All right. The second line's almost the same, except I like to add a little decoration at the end. Otherwise, it's kind of boring if you do the same thing twice, right? It goes like 1, 2, 3, dun, dun, dun. And then, aha! So at the end, there's one more note. It's high D, right? And you have plenty of time to get it ready, right? You go 1, 2, and 3. That's it, right? 1, 2, and 3. Dee, dee, right? It's actually and 4 if you're counting, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. I would have told you the wrong thing. So yes. So because each measure has 4 beats, right? So this one would be. This is beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? All right. We're gonna try the whole thing, and then I've got a fun backing track to put it to. Actually, let's do the backing track right now. All right. So here we are, Au clair de la lune, the funky version. So there's a 2-measure introduction. I'm sure you'll figure it out. It's pretty easy to know when to come in. So here we are. It's the whole thing twice. Good luck. 1, 2, 3, go. All right, I messed up a little bit there, but that's okay. It was still fun. So you might be wondering, well, what is this style and where did it come from? Well, in my brain, I was thinking of, this is kind of a famous song you might have heard, the Jackson 5. That was back when Michael Jackson was a little boy with his brothers. He had a group, the Jackson 5. One of their famous songs was ABC or I Want You Back. Those are pretty similar. It's kind of like ABC. Easy as 1, 2, 3, simple as. You might have heard that before, or I Want You Back. They're almost the same song. So it's that kind of feel. So we took the French song Au clair de la lune and said, let's run it through the Motown filter. Oh, Motown, by the way, is the name of the record label that the Jackson 5 recorded on. It's called Motown because it was in Detroit, the Motor City, where they made cars. Anyway. That's enough music history for now. Let's try it one more time with the backing track, Au clair de la lune, Motown style. Here we go. Get ready with the G. Here we go. All right. See, that's one way we can take a simple tune, change just a couple little rhythms, and it's got a whole different feel to it. All right, we're almost done for today. I just wanted to give you a sneak preview for next week and do one new note. We're just going to touch on it. We're not going to spend much time on it at all, just to get that in your brain. So let's go back to the note G, which we've played about 1,000 times by now, right? That's only left hand. Now we're going to add the right hand on the recorder. So far our right hand's not really done much at all except hold the recorder up. So now what we're going to be doing is using our right hand. So your thumb doesn't really do anything, it just holds the recorder up. Now you take the next two fingers, right? It's these two, index, middle finger, and you put those on the next two holes, covering them fully, right? So it looks like this. And if you blow in very little air, right, slow and steady, you get this note called E. Right? E as in excellent. Now remember, it takes very little air. If you use way too much air, try this outside, not in the house, because you'll drive the rest of your family nuts. It will sounds like this. Right? It's easy to overblow. It sounds terrible. So very little air for E. Now if you go back and forth between E and G, if you do it and add an A in there, you can tease somebody, right? Right? So anyway, E is a useful note, not just for teasing, for playing music. All right. Let's end with one last time through our Motown style of Au clair de la lune, because that's such a fun way to go out. So, all right, here we go. Get ready with the G. Here we go. One, two, three. That's it. All right. Hope you had fun. I had fun. Keep practicing, and I will see you next week.